I'm going to go very fast. I'm going to take you to another place, okay? And it will be more like in the future. But first, I told you about the past, okay? I squeezed all my work of 20 years in a 6 minute and 8 seconds. So you might want to have a look at that. think that's it. It's quite fascinating. I mean, you see somebody else, life in 20 years, in 6 minutes. It's just go like that. Okay, my name is Duangrit Bunnag, and that's all my work. That's all. I mean, that's all I have. So I'm not going to talk more about my work, but I'm going to talk more about something that is coming, which might interest you. Okay. We're not going to talk really about architecture. Okay, so those who are not architect could be relaxing. You can be starting to relax. I'm not gonna push you through all of my work, but I'm gonna talk to you about something behind the work of the future, which might interest you. This is something that I have been exploring for the last few years, and I want to share with you, what I've discovered. Okay. First, we're gonna talk about population growth. I think you are in real estate. You might want to look at this. Okay, this is a population growth rate in 2015, which happened to be not that much. When you look at the graph, it's actually convincing that the growth rate of the population is declining. Okay, so we are somewhere in the middle of this, which is actually right there, about 2000 something. So the growth rate is already declining. And when you look further into the future, like 2100, you still start to see the curve starting to stop. So one more graph. This is like the annual world population growth rate from 1950 to 2100. So you see the growth rate is declining. What that means is that the world population is not going to be high forever. It's actually declining. Okay. So what it means to you as a person doing the real estate development, the population of people is declining. That means a lot, right? I mean, in terms of economy, you always think that world population is actually going higher and higher, 7 billion and more. But actually, in fact, the data prove that is reducing. At the end, when I died already and most of you passed away already, the world population will be declining. So we will have less people in the world. So that's a fact, okay? Few things that you might want to know about economy. There is a new term in economy called temporary economy. When you're actually learning about economics, there is a demand and supply thing that go like that. If you have more demand and you have more supply, you have more wealth. But actually, in the world right now, it looks like a lot of sine curve, okay, up and down and up and down. And at the top, we call it a temporary monopoly, okay? So if you learn about economics, you know that if you actually manage to get the monopoly out of anything that you do, you get wealth, okay? That's a fact. But now, the term actually coined into the temporary monopolies mean it's not gonna be like you're going to be monopoly forever, but you're gonna be on that curve, the top of the curve, and you got that kind of temporary monopoly. And that is your wealth. And the only thing can drive you into that curve, the top of the curve, is creativity. So that's why you need people like us, to help you with the creativity. Maybe you don't need it. Maybe you are already creative people, so it's fine. But the only thing that can drive you to that temporary monopoly point is creativity. You have to come up with a new idea of product. If you think you're going to do the same thing again, you're gone, okay? Because the monopoly is only temporary. So creativity is wealth. If you're a company, if you look at the face of the people in your company and nobody is a creative person, your company is over, okay? Because the only way you can create wealth is through creativity. Because creativity can drive you to the temporary monopoly. So the only way that you can get your creativity working is so simple. Anyone can do that. Is to looking for the possibility within that context. Okay, whatever you do in a hotel business, a shopping mall, any kind of real estate, you have to keep looking for the possibility and keep asking yourself what is possible. But it's not just what possible. It's a what possible within the context that you're living in. So you have to be very sure of the context that you're living in. Sometimes you have the interpretation of the context and not reality. Like the data I gave to you that actually the world population is declining. Some of you don't even know that, okay? So that's the context that you're living in. The only way that you can come up with a possibility to create your new project and new product is that you have to really live in the context, in reality, for real. And that's when you're trying to looking for and asking yourself what is possible. And that is a new creativity. Otherwise, it will be just imagination. So the context is very important. Ask yourself what is the real context, and then ask yourself what is possible. Okay, so that's it. That's the creativity. Okay, the second thing that I want to tell you about is the silent knowledge. Okay, most of the people here, you know about. This is a data again showing how many people living in the urban area in 1966. Okay, and this is actually showing the same how many people live in the urban area in 2050. Okay, which is we are not there yet, but it's a forecast. So you see, majority of the people will live in the city. It's an urban inhabit of people. So what and why people are coming more to the city? Some of you might love to actually spend vacation in a rural area, in vacation house, in the beach and things. But you are more living in the city, and that is real. Okay. But why people are doing that? You see, in the data it's about 2010 something, the rural population and urban population got crossed. It means more people are living in the urban area. And that's a fact, that's a context. You can't decline that. You can't say there is something wrong about that, we should go otherwise. No, it's not. There is something that forces people to live in the urban area. It's not just convenience, but there's something more than that. So urban growth is inevitable. Don't deny that, okay? So live with it. The urban growth is inevitable. And what brings us to that is something we call, okay, there is something out there that I cannot explain. You might have this in your mind, when you live in a city, there is a reason for you to live in a city. There is something out there in the city that you want to live in, but you don't know what it is. Anybody got that? Maybe I didn't make it quite clear. You look like very silent. You should be nodding and, okay, that's okay, don't worry. There is a knowledge in the city of what to learn that cannot be taught. You might feel like there is something in the city that I can learn from it, but nobody is actually telling me what it is, okay? I have to go very fast, it's like 5 minutes left. Okay, so there is something that we know what it is, but we can't actually tell you what it is. So silent knowledge is among people. And that is actually something that brings people to the city. Okay? So the silent knowledge is versus the articulated knowledge. If I go quickly onto this, you will see the articulated knowledge is transferable. And it can be copied. And the silent knowledge is something that go opposite way. It can be transferable, but has to be together and have to be taught through time, and it's more about skill. Okay. The next thing I will go quickly is about coevolution. You heard about data and knowledge. And you heard, the more important about knowledge is the insight of the knowledge. Okay. And that's more meaningful. And you might heard about the word AI, okay? So the AI is actually part of the equation, Another part of the equation is human intelligence or HI. So in the future, you will see more like AI and HI symbiosis. Okay, so people will talk to you about AI, but it's not hip anymore. It's about AI HI symbiosis. The formula go like this. Okay, so it's a big data plus AI, and you have choices, and the AI will provide you with choices A, B, or C, and plus the HI, you have solution. Okay, so it's very important you concentrate on human intelligence as much as the artificial intelligence. The last thing I'm going to talk to you about is a whole experience economy. So in the future, people will have look at this graph. Okay, so sorry about that. This graph showing in 2015, the people of the middle income is higher population than the others. So what it means? It means that you have to actually win the people of the large population who have less money in your wallet. Okay, so that is it's about more than selling, and not a point of sale, but a point of experience. That's very important. And it's not about mobile always. It's about also the location. Okay, so this is very important in the future. And the experience economy is equal to emotion. So whatever product you do, don't actually eliminate the factor of emotion, because that's the capture of the larger audience who have a middle income. Okay, so that's all I actually want to talk to you about today. And a little bit before I left, I show you a little bit of my new work, okay, that nobody on earth have ever seen before. So that's your shopping mall. I love that project. And so this is a new typology that we're talking about, the new form. This is another house that we designed. That is the house in the beginning that look like that. And we actually working on the model that look like that. So that's show you the new topology that we're working with. And that's another house that we're working with. I wish I can click this faster. Okay, that's a new development we're working with. I cannot tell you what it is because I signed a confidentiality thing, okay? And this is another project in Jakarta that we're working with. So starting with that kind of drawing, and we come up with that floor plan. It's a shopping mall with a condominium. So it looks like that. Look like that. And this is the airport that I won, but I didn't get a chance to build it. So it looks like that. And I have a lot of trees in my airport too. Actually larger than the one in Singapore. And that is another project I'm working on right now in Pattaya. Okay, so that's how the project look like that. Okay, so that's it. Thank you so much.